All right. Oh, I got 23 minutes. I got a lot to post. So like going back to that girl, like it's like, I mean, why would an angel see her as more valuable? Like it's obvious. Like, I mean, just because someone can afford all this shit, all this dynasty stuff, is just, it's false. It's not real. Um, it's she's learning how to draw. That's a beautiful thing. On the other hand, what does this other guy do? He probably works a job that his family gave him. I mean, there's no merit in any of that. No, none whatsoever. Um, I mean, there's so many. Oh my God! It's like value doesn't come from money. It comes from within you. Um, yeah, no, value totally comes from within. Um, I hate to be like a Charlie Kirk right now, or a Marduk, but I'm just gonna call it out. But it's like, I mean, look at someone like Obama, right? Like, who is Obama, right? I mean, his dad was MI6, and his mother's family was CIA. Like, what has this guy ever really done? Other than speak words that other people have written. like, like, what is real value? I mean, obviously, the way we calculate it nowadays is totally false. Because I mean, it's obvious. It's like this girl is trying to learn how to draw, and that's real value right there. Whether or not she ever makes any quote unquote money from it doesn't matter. Whether you make any money from it, it's for its own sake, right? There's this beautiful poem by Charles Bukowski, which is totally misinterpreted by others, but it's like, don't do it. Don't do it. If you're not doing it if you're not doing art for its own sake, if you're doing art so that you get pussy, or you get money, or you can get dick, or whatever, then you're doing art for the wrong reason. Then you're doing writing for the wrong reason, right? And if you're not doing art for its own sake, then I mean, that's real value right there. Charles Bukowski had it. That's real value. You don't have to make any money from it. You don't have to make any value. Well, could you turn that down just a tiny bit? Um, yeah, you don't have to fucking make any value, any. I mean, true confidence will only come from within you. Um, you can't gain it from others. Like there are some religious leaders out there that try to get men to have confidence within packs, right? But as individuals, each one of these individuals are scared, weak little boys. Now they're confident within the pack, right? Rah, rah, they can intimidate, and they can be strong, rah. But these, I mean, that's not real strength right there. That's not real fucking strength at all. I mean, true value, true strength is only going to come from within you. I mean, in a world where money can just be created and destroyed like it's nothing, then value is nothing. Value is nothing. But we all know what true value is. We all do. Like I loved learning about the California men. There's these California men. They got together, and they just started working with electronic hardware, and a lot of them were doing it, I think, in their own garages. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of these, like, there was these electronic men, and they were just working electronics for the sake of learning electronics, right? They were just learning about fucking electronics, and in so doing, they created all this value in the world. But even then, it's like, even if you don't get appreciation from others, that doesn't matter. The work itself should be appreciated from within. You don't need others to validate you. Like one of the more powerful movie moments in modern movie history is like the end of Pulp Fiction, where you have these two badass gangsters. They're walking out of this diner, right? And they're dressed like idiots, right? But they're walking like they're badass, right? Because their confidence comes from within. Maybe one for the good and the other for the ill. I mean, again, Enoch, he talks about this countenance change, right? And it's like you have all these these men out there who have all this false confidence within them, but if they ever truly get challenged, then you're gonna see their countenance go down, because this is built upon a false foundation of dynasty and nepotism, right, rather than actual merit. I mean, true value has nothing to do with quote unquote cashy money, you know? I mean, how humiliating for all these attractive women who are with these 70, 60, 80-year-old men. You know, and some of these 60, 70, 80-year-old men are actual badasses. They are actual badasses, and these women could be actually proud to be with these men who have true value within them. But just because a man has quote-unquote money doesn't mean he has any value within him. You know, I was working in this, I was working produce over at, what's it called? Fucking, what's that? What's the name of that store?
Sprouts.
Sprouts, there you go. I was a produce worker in Sprouts, and I was sitting there, I was standing there, and I was talking with my manager. I like my manager. He was a cool guy. Well, maybe not, but I don't know. But he was fun to talk to. And he and I were sitting there talking, and this older white man comes up, right? And this older white man, he was drunk as hell. Like, you could smell the alcohol on him, and you could see this guy's fucking drunk as hell. But you could also tell he's rich by the way he's just talking and acting. And he comes up, he talks to us, He's obviously depressed as hell. Oh my god, this man is so fucking depressed. But he comes up, he talks to us, and he's like, he starts to tell us how to distinguish a sweet orange from a non-sweet orange, right? And he was saying one thing you want to do is you want to feel the skin of the orange. And if the skin is really bumpy, then it's not going to be sweet, right? You want a smooth skin, but you also want to look for plumpness. You know, if it's obviously too ripe, then it's not going to be sweet. You know, it has to have a smooth skin and the exact amount of plumpness, right?
I got some for
you. Yeah, and no, and so it's like this is a man that has value within him. Like this is a man that loves to learn about the world, and he's able to see the subtleties that none of us can see. Right, and yet he's obviously surrounded by a bunch of parasites that don't appreciate him, right? And so he's depressed as hell. Because he's got all this money, but he's got no value within his life. He's got no sweetness and ripeness. Damn, yeah, no, all these people who, pursue money. It's like, that's not where real value is. I mean, sometimes you can be doing something for its own sake, and you're going to be wildly successful. But other times you'll be doing something for its own sake, and you won't be successful at all. You know? But you will always be successful if you're doing it for its own sake. Rather than the fruit of that work. Like the work itself is fruit. The work itself is value, and that's where you get your real confidence from. I mean, you don't have to. You don't know. It's like, there's so many people who are humiliating themselves because they have a false idea of what real value is. You know, and yet at the end of the day, we all really do know what real value is, because if you go back to these California men who were just working electronic hardware, like that's all they're doing. They're just working electronic hardware, and they're trying to figure out what this does and what that does, and they're just like, that's an amazing story. That's just amazing story of these men who are trying to appreciate the world. You know, I mean, you have the Gnostics out there, and the Gnostics will tell you that the world is evil, right? While Moses, who is an anti-Gnostic, will tell you that the world is good, right? And oh my God, these Gnostics, they're evil. They're evil because, like, you look at, like, oh my, like, I should make a video on Gnostics. I should. Because these Gnostics are not what you think they are. Like, Gnostics are duplicitous. Totally duplicitous. But you know, I mean, you have this guy, like, people who are really appreciating this world, and seeing this world as Moses would said is good. God created this world and declared it to be good. Completely anti-Gnostic right there. Right? Because the Gnostics want to fill you with guilt. Right? The Gnostics want to control you with guilt. Oh my God, fuck the Gnostics. I should totally make a video on the Gnostics. Fuck those bastards. But of course you have two different types of Gnostics. You have the real Gnostics, and then you have the what the communists would call useful idiots, right? Who are just swayed by rhetoric and argumentation. But the real Gnostics don't believe in anything other than manipulation and control, and that's where they get value from. They get value in that the more people that they're able to manipulate, the more valuable they are, and that's disgusting. That's a disgusting view of themselves. But I mean, damn, like money is nothing but monopoly money nowadays. And so, like, how can anybody, like, I learned about like the psychology of lottery winners, right? And the psychology of lottery winners goes like this: your emotional state at before you were a lottery winner, right? So think about your emotional state before you were a lottery winner. If your emotional state before you were a lottery winner is depressed, then after you win the lottery, you will have this momentary feeling of euphoria. But you will eventually go back to the emotional state that you were in before you were a lottery winner. And so if you win the lottery and you had a pretty positive emotional state, then the euphoria will happen and you will continue to be in a positive state. But if you're a depressed drunk that wins the lottery, you'll have this momentary euphoric state, but then you're going to become a depressed drunk after you win the lottery. And it's like, damn, I mean, like, fucking, like, I'm sick of coming on here and talking and speaking just common fucking sense.